Hello, you guys. Welcome to another episode of my podcast, Things Could Be Worse. I'm your host, baileydedrick, and today I'm telling probably the most highly anticipated story time that I'm ever going to be sharing publicly. I don't know how many people are going to know what I'm talking about right off the bat or how many people remember all of my references. But basically, if you've been watching my YouTube channel for a while and you, I don't know, kind of have been keeping updated with my life for like the last couple of years, I have mentioned a certain date multiple times, and I have referenced this night or this date to be literally one of the worst nights of my life, but also not looking back on it now, I'm not like, oh my God, that's the worst night of my life. But in the moment, it was literally the worst night that I have ever experienced. And I've never been able to come online and share this story with you. And the reason for that is because it's like very illegal. What happened to me, like I broke the law and I got in trouble for it. And I feel like I'm already diving too much in. Like I don't want to give too much away. But I didn't want to share this story publicly online until I turned 18. And then I was going to share it like right when I started my podcast because so many people were looking forward to hearing this story. And then I was like, okay, well, let me just wait till the 3-year anniversary of this happening. It is currently July 2nd when I'm recording this, and I think this is going up on like the 5th, maybe. I think it's the 5th that this is going to be going up on. But as I'm filming this, it is the 3-year anniversary. I logged into Snapchat this morning and I saw my 3 years ago today, and I was like, holy shit. Kind of perfect. I was going to be recording this episode and posting it this week regardless, but just the fact that I'm actually sitting down and recording it 3 years ago today, or like it happened 3 years ago today, is just so funny to me. So yeah, if you remember me ever mentioning July 2nd or the night that I got in trouble with the authorities, then I really hope that this episode brings you everything that you've been craving and more, because I know how annoying it is when people online are like, oh my God, like this crazy thing happened, but I can't tell you guys about it, or like I can't tell you about it yet. But I've been saying that for 3 years, and the fact that I'm finally telling this story is making me so I don't even know, I'm like anxious, because like I don't even know how to put it, but like I'm so scared to share this story finally, because it's just like it's had such a big buildup. But then at the same time, it's like I'm so relieved to finally be able to like share this with you guys, because I think it's a really funny story looking back on it, and I really want to be able to share it. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode today. I am very, very scared, but also very excited. Before we get into it, I want to politely ask all of my lovely listeners to rate and review the pod if you haven't already. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please give me a 5-star rating, leave me a review. It really helps me out and pushes my podcast out there, and I'm really loving the podcast lately. So if you could do those little things, including like subscribe to the YouTube channel maybe, or follow the socials, Things Could Be Worse Pod on Instagram and TikTok, I would appreciate it so freaking much. Anyways, now that we have that all out of the way, let's get into what this episode is really about. Let's get into the story time. Let's get into what the hell actually happened to Bailey on July 2nd, 2020. I want to say I have the worst memory of probably anybody that I know. I don't know what it is when it comes to forming memories, but my brain is complete mush. Like I don't know why I can never remember anything or like remember specific details. It's literally like I'm on drugs or like I'm constantly like blacked out, and I just like don't remember details of like certain events and like certain days. It's like such a weird fucking thing. So I literally had to call my best friend and be like, okay, like lay out every single detail and lay out like the timestamps. Like she has a really good memory. I was like, lay out everything for me, because I'm about to record this podcast and I don't even remember half the night. So the little pre-episode conference call was definitely a necessity so that I can tell this story actually accurately. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's throw it back to July of 2020. First things first, I was with my little group of friends that I was like very close with in the summer of 2020. I was with them. I don't remember what house we were at or, you know, what we were really doing, but basically we all found out about a party that was going on in like my neighborhood, and it was like with some of the older kids. Like at this point, I was literally I think it was my freshman going into sophomore year summer. So, I mean, I was young and I had a lot of friends that were older than me. I've talked about this a lot. I've kind of always had friends that are older than me. I've had friends in like various, grades and different friend groups and stuff. So there was some of like my age, not really my age, but like the grade above me. That's who I was like mainly friends with at this point in my life. And there was like a bunch of the grade above me that was going to be there that I was very close with. And then like another grade above them, and then like another grade above them maybe. So it was like a very like not big group of people, but there was just like a wide variety of different people that were going to be there. But it wasn't supposed to be overly big or anything. Like it wasn't supposed to be a rager. It wasn't supposed to be like this massive party that this kid was throwing because his parents were out of town. Like he just wanted to have like a chill, nice night with his friends, like have a little party, nothing crazy, like have a good time. Everybody goes home, he cleans up, he goes to bed, and everything is perfect. That was his plan, I assume. Like, I mean, I don't know what else the plan would be, but I believe that was how it was supposed to be. And originally, me and my friends didn't really want to go. We weren't really feeling it, and we weren't really feeling it for a couple different reasons. I think we were all just like not really in the mood to like go party. And then also somebody mentioned that like cops are crazy in this particular like part of the neighborhood. Like there's always cops, like parties are always getting busted. So I actually have a screenshot of our group chat discussing the party before we went that night. So in the group chat, my friend Ryan goes, "There's a fuck ton of cops in the neighborhood today." And she was like referring to the neighborhood because she also used to live in this neighborhood that the party was taking place in. So she was just being observant, noticed a lot of cops. It's also July 2nd. So it's literally holiday weekend. Like the 4th of July is 2 days later. Every single holiday, like there's more cops out than normal because there's more parties going on. There's more like drunk driving going on. So the cops are more active during holiday weekends. And then my friend goes, "Okay," like just so blatantly, like, "All right." And then my other friend goes, "Yes, we love a good underage." And then my other friend goes, "There's not going to be that many people. And plus, every time we go there, we park far from his house. So we're fine." And so just keep that in mind. We literally predicted how the fucking night was going to go. I didn't, but my other friend did. So we're like kind of being aware and we're like being smart going into this party. I honestly told myself like I wasn't going to drink. I'm going to tell you guys, I was kind of like a fucked up child. Not a fucked up child, but like I definitely started participating in like party culture. I don't do drugs or anything. Like I've never done drugs, like crazy like I'm not a big partier now, but I kind of started drinking young, in my opinion. I mean, I was a sophomore like when this happened. Like I was going to my sophomore year. I don't feel like that's that crazy. I don't know, where I'm from, that's very normal. And I know like you guys might be like, what the actual hell? Like we had no idea. And it's because I did a very good job of keeping that part of my life private because it was not something I wanted to share. But let's just be honest. Let's just be real. I was a little bit of a early bloomer when it came to like drinking and partying and stuff because I was friends with people that were older than me, which I totally don't recommend, but also I feel like it like helped me in a way for the future. I don't know, like I'm so like I just know what I don't know what I don't want to get into all that. But my whole plan was to go there and not really drink. We weren't going to stay very long, and we were also scared that the cops were going to come. So it was supposed to be like very chill. We were just going to pop in, say hey, see what the vibe was, and then leave. So Ryan's recollection, she says that we got there at like 8 p.m. And the next thing I put is it wasn't supposed to be a big party, but a bunch of people started showing up, like a whole bunch of people that I don't think were originally invited or like that didn't ask to come or that asked and just like brought like extra people that they weren't supposed to. And it's because everybody found out that this kid's parents were out of town and that's why he was throwing this party. So a whole bunch of people started throwing up. No, not throwing up. That too, probably. A whole bunch of people started just showing up. And then everybody was kind of doing their own thing. It was very chill. I was just talking to different people. I was catching up with people that I hadn't seen in a little bit. There was people like upstairs in the kitchen and in the living room. And then there was people downstairs like playing pool, playing cards, playing like beer pong. Just everybody was having a great time for a little bit. It was a really great party in the beginning. So as the night sort of progressed, and it got later, things started getting a little bit more rowdy. You know, people were getting a little too dizzy, I would say. I always use the word dizzy. I think you guys know what I'm referring to. But as the night goes on, usually shit hits the fan. So it's getting late. People are being stupid, like more stupid than usual. And I don't know what the lead up to this situation was. And I'm not going to share names. I'm going to be very private with this just because like I said, I don't know who wants what out there. But this one kid that I was friends with, somehow, some reason, gets the idea that he wants to jump on the ping pong table. It was like in this separate room in the basement, and people were playing like beer pong at this actual ping pong table. And I happened to be in there, and then this kid just jumps on the fucking table. And I feel terrible. I'm like bitching because I am so respectful of other people's houses, because especially back at like this point in my life, I was having people over all the time. I was constantly hosting. So I was just like hyper aware of like, you know, being clean, like somewhat like helping clean up at people's houses, not breaking shit, just like being respectful, you know, being a good person, because it's just like not needed to be like disrespectful and like break shit in somebody else's house. So this kid jumps on the table. I'm pissed. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like bitching. And then this other kid who I also was friends with decides to jump on the table as well. And the first time that they jumped on the table, you know, it like might have broken a little bit, but it was fine. Like we could have fixed that shit. The second kid that jumped on the table, he broke that shit. It cracked right in the middle. That shit was like bent, like all of the little like metal like things were bent. It was just not good. So I don't know, I felt really bad. And this is when I started trying to clean up the basement, because I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad for this kid that's having this party. His parents are out of town. He's gonna totally get caught now, because like with his parents, because the ping pong table is broken. And why else would the ping pong table be broken unless he had a party? So I'm like walking around the basement, I'm picking up cans. There's like a whole little bar like in his basement, like a bar area, and there's like bottles on there, there's cans, there's like shot glasses and stuff, like little plastic cups. And I'm like trying to clean up just because I feel bad, and like his table just got broken. So I'm cleaning up, and on the counter, keep in mind, I hadn't really drank anything up until this point. I might have had like one seltzer, but I was really like strict with myself, saying like, I mean, I didn't want to drink, and I really didn't drink like that heavily either. Like, I guess, I don't know, but I just had like one seltzer probably. And then I was cleaning up, and on the counter there was a bottle of vodka, and it had just like a little baby like shot left in it, probably like half a shot of vodka in this bottle. And I wanted to be able to like put it in the recycling bag, but I couldn't do that if there was liquid in it. So what did I do? I just drank it. I just finished it. It was innocent. I wasn't like, whatever. It was just like the first thing, you know, I just grabbed it, drank it, threw it away. And then things took a turn really shortly after that. After I was done cleaning, I thought that I deserved a snack. So I went upstairs and I grabbed a snack, and I saw the owner of the house and his friend like staring out the front window by like the front door. And I was like, oh God, like what's going on? Like, what are you guys looking at? And they were like, there's a cop sitting right there. So I go over, I see a cop car, and I'm like, oh shit. So I run down the basement stairs. I'm trying to find all my girlfriends. There's probably like 5 of us, I would say. 6 of us. I think there were 6 of us. 6. Wait. 6 of us. There were 6 of us, like girls that went there together. And I'm like, I need to find my girls. Like, I need to get the fuck out of here, but I need to get my girls. Like, I could have just ran out the back door right fucking there and been smart, but I didn't because I care about my friends. And I was like, we need to go tell everybody that there's fucking cops here. So I like slyly go downstairs trying to find my friends and like let them know without causing like a huge scene, because I didn't know like what the vibe was yet. So I try to find my friends, and before I can find all my friends, people are screaming cops. People are running. People are trampling each other. Kids are running up the stairs. Kids are hiding in the basement. Kids are, you know, running out the back door, jumping over a fence onto this like country highway type of thing, just like running down the highway. People are running down the street, and I'm like, holy shit, like shit's actually like, this is bad. Like, this is really bad. So I get my friends. I'm like, guys, we need to go. So we're like heading up the stairs. We're all like running up the stairs with like a whole group of people. There's like 30 people trying to all get up these basement stairs. And when I get to the top of the stairs, there's this kid, and he's like yelling at me, like not me, but yelling at us. He's like, don't fucking go out there. Like, the cops aren't going to get inside. We're not letting the cops inside. Get back downstairs. He like holds his arm out across the doorway right as I get to the top of the stairs, and he just shoves me, and it's like a domino effect. We all like fall down the stairs, like not fall, but we all like got pushed back down the stairs, and I was like, oh my God, like I need to leave. Like I can't stay here. Like there's cops here. But like I really had no chance to escape at that point because this kid just like shoved me down the stairs, like shut the door. He was like, we're all going to sit in the basement, be quiet, help clean up the rest of this shit. And we're not going to let the cops in. So there's nothing to worry about. Right. So it made sense. The whole thing about like cops showing up to parties, if you don't let them in, if you don't open the door, like they can't really come in. You know, they can't get any, like you can't get in any trouble if you're in the house and you don't let the cops inside. Like at least like that's what I've been told. They can't come inside unless they have a warrant or there's like a 911 call or something like serious happens and there's like an emergency. So we all were kind of like, okay, like just don't open the door and we'll be good. So we all just kind of went back down to the basement, and we figured we'd be good if we just like hid in the basement and waited it out. But the owner of the house ended up opening the door and talking to the cops, and and the next thing that happened was not so good. Basically, the owner of the house, the kid that lives at the house, he's not the owner of the house, but like his parents that own the house, you know what I'm saying. So the kid that lives at that house, he, instead of like letting the cops come inside, he was being very, very smart. He was like, I'm not going to let the cops in the house. Like, you guys are all good. So he steps out on the front porch. He hadn't been drinking, I believe. I don't think so, at least, or maybe, I don't even know. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. I don't think he had been drinking, maybe like a little, but he steps out on the front porch, closes the door behind him, and talks to these cops. And he's like, what's going on, whatever. And these cops look at him and they go, we received a 911 call from this residence. We tracked the phone and it came from this residence. And now we can obviously see that there is a party going on. So one thing led to another. The cops, because it was a 911 call and they have to be able to follow up with 911 calls, the cops were able to come in, no warrant. They were able to just walk right in the fucking house. I will say a ton of people, like majority of people, probably 70% of people that were at that party were able to escape out the back door and run and hide. A bunch of people actually got caught like running, and then they got brought back into the house. It wasn't a bunch. I think it was like a couple. And then one girl actually like ran all the way home, or like ran far enough, got picked up, and the cops showed up at her house later that night. I don't know how the hell they found her, but that whole shit happened. But basically the cops came in the house and we heard them yelling. We heard the footsteps upstairs. We heard like, police department, like, you have 30 seconds to come out from the basement, like come out of hiding, or like this is gonna be a whole lot worse for all of you. Like they were just, whatever, talking their shit. So yeah, me and a bunch of girls had been in that little storage room hiding for probably about 30 minutes while like the kid that lived at the house like talked to the cops outside, and then like finally like they were like, we have complete 100% permission to come inside based on like the call that we received. So they came inside and we're sitting there. We can kind of hear the police and we're like, oh shit. And then they start yelling. They're like, y'all got to come out of hiding, like come upstairs, like just whatever. And I don't really know what we could have done differently in that situation. Like maybe I could have tried to run there, but that didn't seem like a good idea. Like the house and like the surrounding of the house was like surrounded by cops pretty much. So we all come out, we're all like doing the walk of shame out of there. The cops are like yelling, the cops are like searching in rooms looking for people. And, then we walk upstairs to the living room. The vibe of the living room is still to this date one of the funniest things I've ever experienced. There was like people bawling their eyes out. There was people just like geeking. There was people like just having like laughing at themselves basically. Like, yes, this is like a very serious situation to be in, but at the end of the day, like people, like parties get busted all the time. People get in trouble with the cops for, underage activities all the time. So I was kind of like, I was freaking the fuck out, but I also, some part of me was like calm, and I was still just like kind of like in shock, like giggling about it. Like I wasn't like actually laughing, but in my head I was like, this is so fucked. Like this is so fucked. And I was kind of like making jokes with like the kid I was sitting next to, and like it wasn't super like terrifying or anything, just because I knew like you know, I'm gonna get a fucking ticket and that's that. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks, but I'm here and that's how my night is ending. So we're sitting there for a while. The cops are talking to us. The cops are asking us questions. The cops are asking us for names of people that ran. Obviously, none of the people here were snitches. Nobody was about to snitch out our friends. The fuck? Who ran away? Let me just start naming people. Like, this isn't a plea deal. Like, you're not gonna give me a lesser ticket. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't worth, like, I don't know why they were even doing that. I think they were just trying to like gauge how like messed up everybody was, like trying to ask us questions, try to talk about what we were doing and stuff. I think they were really just trying to like see how coherent all of us were, because they just like kept asking us questions. I was like, bro, just fucking breathalyze me, throw me in the back of a cop car and let's call it a night. I don't have time to sit here and chit chat. Why are we chit chatting? You know what I mean? So we're all sitting there and all of a sudden some paramedics walk in and we're like, holy shit. What the fuck is that? Like, what are you guys here for? And like 5 minutes later, they come back upstairs with a stretcher with one of our friends laying on it. And we're all like just sitting in the living room, crisscross applesauce. Like, there's some people on the couch. I was on the floor sitting crisscross applesauce. And we just see like our friend get rolled out in front of us because he had been like passed out in the bathroom. He wasn't like... Okay, this sounds like really bad that there was like a kid just like passed out on like the floor in the basement in the bathroom, but he wasn't like actually passed out, like unconscious or anything, you guys. He was just sleeping. He was good. Like, yes, he was way too drunk. He was throwing up and then he decided to lay down because, you know, he didn't feel good and then he fell asleep. But like when they like found him and like woke him up, he was fully like conscious, like everything was good. He was just a little too fucked up. So they roll him out. We're all just sitting there like in shock because I didn't even know this kid was down there, right? We all came up and they're like checking the basement to see if anybody's still hiding, and they just find this kid on the bathroom floor, and I'm like, holy shit, this is the last thing we need right now. Is this kid good? Like, does he know what's going on? And he's like looking at us, like he was like turning his head. I don't even know what could have been going through his head in that moment, but he ended up going to the hospital. I think he got his stomach pumped, just because like they'll do that. But yeah, super tough. Do not encourage that. Like, this is like fucked up. Like, I'm not telling this story like anything we did or anything that these people did was good and that you should also do this. If anything, this should be a story of what not to do. This should be, you know, spreading awareness. Do not underage drink. Do not, you within reason. No, everybody does it, right? No, okay, I don't know. This is not me promoting this shit. I'm a lot smarter now than I was back then, and we were stupid. We fucked up bad, and we were doing stupid shit, and we, you know, kind of had a wake-up call because we ended up getting in trouble for it. So I'm not telling this story to be like, oh my god, guys, let's go through a rager. Don't fucking do this shit. Do not learn from my mistakes. Learn from me and my friends' mistakes. Don't do this shit. Don't try to pull some stupid shit. Don't go to fucking shit that's gonna get busted. Like, just... you know, do your best. Be smart. So while we're sitting there, they begin to breathalyze all of us, and they're asking us like our parents' names and our addresses. Again, they do this shit to see how coherent you are. Like, they're not actually, like, they don't care when your dad's birthday is, but it's to see like how fucked up you are. Like, I truly believe that, because like they do not care. Like, they're not like calling my dad. Like, obviously at one point I needed to call my mom, but they're not like, oh my god, we need your dad's birthday. So they're asking us all these questions. There's 2 cops breathalyzing in the circle, starting from each end. It's like kind of a horseshoe shape. And the cops were like at the open part of the horseshoe, like talking. There was like 3 or 4 cops, I think, in the house. And then like they each started breathalyzing, whatever. But the fucked up part is they were making us guess what we thought we were gonna blow. They were like, okay, next up. Like, they made it a fucking joke, which I think kind of helped, that they weren't like super scary, but they literally made this shit a fucking game. Like, I could tell they were having so much fucking fun, because it's just like, it's not that serious. Like, it's just a bunch of underage kids drinking, but like, it's serious in the eyes of the law. But I don't think they were like, you know, they weren't trying to like scare us and stuff. So they were making this shit a fucking joke, a fucking game. They were like, okay, next up, like, what do you think you're gonna blow? And then they would like read the number out loud, and we all like, you know, have to react, but we were all like, we can't like say anything or like laugh, but this shit's low-key funny as fuck. So they're like breathalyzing. Some people fucking blew crazy numbers. crazy numbers. And then they get to me and I'm like, okay, so I probably won't blow anything, right? Or if I do, it's going to be really, really low because I had one seltzer that entire night, right? And then I had a little bit of vodka. But that fucked me up bad. I wasn't fucked up. Like, I was completely sober. Like, I actually was sober. But since 30 minutes prior, or like 45 minutes prior to me getting breathalyzed, I had just taken a swig of vodka out the bottle. I had fresh like vodka in my mouth. Like, I don't know if you guys know, like, breathalyzers test your blood alcohol level, I believe. But also, if you have like vodka in your fucking mouth and you blow, it's gonna be higher than if you like didn't just take a shot of vodka. You know what I mean? I don't know if any of this is clicking. So I wasn't very drunk. I hadn't drank a lot, but since I had just recently taken that shot, I blew like not super high. Like, it wasn't concerningly high or anything, but I blew definitely higher than I would have if I didn't take that swig of vodka. If I didn't finish the bottle, just trying to be a good person, clean up the basement, you know, dispose of the empty bottles. Underage, oopsies. Sorry, mom. Sorry, dad. Sorry, grandma. Tough luck. But then we get to my friend Ryan, who, let me tell you, was fucking drunk. No, she was dizzy as hell. And this bitch has had the best luck. I've gotten like talked to by cops and shit, not just this one time. There's been multiple encounters with cops just because our town, I don't know what's going on. I think it's because our town is like so like quote unquote safe. Like, I think these cops are bored. Like, they don't have any like work to be doing. Like, there's not like criminals running loose. Like, we live in a very safe area, which is very good. But I think these cops are fucking bored. So they just love busting underage parties. Like, that's their favorite fucking hobby. Because for the whole rest of the summer after this, we ran into like interactions. We didn't get caught anymore, but there was like 4 more parties that like cops came to and we had to like run. So, like, I don't know what was going on this summer, but it was just cops fucking galore everywhere. So, it's Ryan's turn to get breathalyzed, and I'm looking at her, and, you know, she's looking at me, and they were like, what do you think you're gonna blow? And she, like, says a number, like, she's like, probably, like, a 0.1, like, a 0.001, like, something. And this bitch, like I said, her drunk ass blew zeros. And she had drank so much more than me. She was like, I definitely, drink. How the fuck did she blow zeros? We still talk about it and laugh about it. Like, she has been so lucky with interactions with like cops, and I just have not been. So yeah, she blew zeros. Very good for her. I'm very happy that happened. One of my friends literally blew like a point fucking 3, like a 0.2, like something crazy, or like a 0.12. Like, that's not, I don't know if any of you guys know what, or I don't know, like, I'm confusing myself right now, but like, I don't even know how to like explain the numbers. Like, I don't even know, like a 0.08, I believe, is like the legal limit if you're over 21 to like drive a car, which I still like, I don't know. I don't even fucking know. So yeah, Ryan blew zeros. That lucky little biatch. Lucky girl. No, I'm happy that she didn't get caught. Like, that's good. I'm not like mad that she didn't get caught. I'm actually very happy, but it was just funny that it was her because she's always so lucky. So during the whole breathalyzing thing, another cop comes in from the back porch, and he comes in and he's holding a bong, and he's like, so whose bong is this? And we're all like, whose bong is that? And I knew whose bong it was, and I was staring at him. And he wasn't saying anything. Obviously, I wouldn't say anything either, right? And they're like starting to threaten us, trying to get somebody to confess because nobody's confessing. And they're like, okay, well, we're going to charge all of you with this if nobody comes forward and admits it. And we're all like death staring at this kid. We're all like, are you going to fucking say something? But then I'm also like kind of laughing because it's kind of funny. He's like, I'm not saying shit. Like, what the fuck? So that ended up getting dropped. I believe nobody got in trouble for the bong, which is super, super sick because that's like a whole different thing you have to deal with. Marijuana is not legal in Wisconsin. So yeah. super tough. But guys, like, looking back on it, like, this is like super fucked up, like, in the grand scheme of things, but it's also so fucking funny. Like, I get it. It's a big deal, but it's also like not a big deal. I was 15 though at the time, which is kind of fucked up. Like I got an underage before I could drive a car. Probably not good. Probably not good. Probably not good at all. After everybody got breathalyzed and they talked to us and basically told us that like we can't do this shit anymore and we need to be smarter and we need to make better decisions and all that, we all had to call our parents to come pick us up. Even like two of my like good friends that were there with us, three of them, they all blew zeros. Like Ryan blew zeros, the other friend that I went with blew zeros, and then another girl that came and met up with us blew zeros. And they still weren't allowed to like drive home, which was really weird. Because Ryan didn't drive, but our other friend that blew zeros that actually didn't drink anything drove, because, you know, never drink and drive. Always find a reliable DD or an Uber or a parent. Like, guys, that's the biggest fucking thing. Do whatever the fuck you want, but don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, do not get in a car with somebody that's been drinking. Do not drink and drive. First of all, not only for the risk of your life, and for other people, other drivers' lives out there, you don't want a fucking DUI. I know people that have gotten a DUI and that shit fucking sucks. You can get your license suspended. You might have a breathalyzer in your car. You can't like go certain places. You can only go to and from work. Like if you don't want to fucking kill yourself and you don't want to kill someone else, at least don't want a DUI, because that shit is so ass. And I don't care who you are, you're not better driving drunk than you are sober. That's a thing that a lot of people fucking like to say. I hate so many of the boys in this town are so fucking bad about it. And I get into literal fucking heated fights, heated arguments with these like people, because it's like, y'all are fucking stupid. That is literally the stupidest thing you can do. Stop it. Stop it. So sorry about that little tangent. Do not drink and drive. I don't care who the fuck you are. That is my one piece of advice. Like, I don't care what else you do, like I said, but do not drink and drive, and do not go with somebody that has been drinking, okay? I don't care if you drink some water and you eat a snack and you're quote unquote sober. No, the fuck you're not. No, the fuck. Okay, sorry, I'm getting heated like I'm talking to people that drink and drive. I assume all of my lovely viewers would never do that, but you know, it happens. Shit happens, but just don't do it, okay? Don't do it. So my mom comes and picks me up. My other friends' moms come and get them. Everybody's parents are pissed. Everybody's like, all the parents are like outside talking to each other. It's a fucking mess. My friend that blew zeros that drove her car there, her mom was actually out of town and couldn't come pick her up. And she was like pissed off. She was like, I haven't been drinking. I have my car here. I blew zeros. Like, let me just drive home. Like, you can still call my mom and talk to her about what just happened, but like, let me drive home. Like, there's no reason I shouldn't be able to drive home right now. So she literally had to call her mom, and like her mom had to talk to the cop and like get permission for her to drive home, which is so weird because like she didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't get charged with anything. She didn't break the law in any way. I mean, I guess being at the party is bad, but like, what? She was fine. So, yeah, everybody went home, had a very nice long talk with my parents. It was so much fun. I literally got home and I think I took a bath actually right away, because I was like, just, you know, that's a lot of adrenaline. That's a lot of anxiety. That's a lot of like fear built up. I literally got home and I needed to decompress in the fucking bathtub and just like relax for a sec. My parents really like, they cared, but you know, they're very good at being like, okay, like this is a mistake and you have like two things that you can do. You can keep doing this shit, or you can like learn from this mistake and be smarter next time. And that's kind of how my parents have always been. They're very like they want what's best for me, but they're gonna let me make my own mistakes and like figure out what's right from wrong, instead of like sheltering me and being like, you are never going outside again. You're never hanging out with your friends again. You're never going to another party. Because I think my parents realized that that's not the right way to parent. If you are sheltering your kid and you're being a strict parent, you're gonna have a sneaky kid. And if my parents said you're not going to another party for the rest of the summer, I would leave my fucking phone at home and I would sneak out and go to another party anyways. That's how teenagers are. That's how fucking kids are. So I don't know. My parents weren't like overly like mad or anything, which was very good, because I think that's how they were upset, they were mad, they were disappointed. They were more disappointed than anything, which is honestly worse than being like super mad. But yeah, it wasn't like my punishment wasn't like crazy. Like I think they were like, okay, for this next week, like you can't do anything. But then I ended up leaving my phone at home the 2 days later for the 4th of July party. Duh. I left my phone at home. I took my fucking iPad to my friend's house and I went to the 4th of July party anyways. Oopsies. Love you, Dad. Love you, Dad. After this all happened, the next day, all the girls that I went to the party with and that like we all got caught, we went to a Mexican restaurant to talk about the night and discuss like how our parents reacted and like what we thought what our punishments were gonna be. And like we literally all thought like, I didn't think that I'd be like grounded for the rest of summer, but like some of my friends did, and we thought that that was the last time we were ever gonna be together. Like it was so dramatic. Like at least for the summer, like we literally thought like we're cut off from each other. Like we can't hang out anymore. That wasn't the case. It was like a rough like 2 weeks for like our friend group and like punishments and stuff like that. But you know, we conquered, we overcame, and we were able to be friends still. So let's fast forward a few days to when I snuck out and I left my phone at home. Actually, I didn't sneak out. I was actually watching the dogs at my mom's house and I was there alone. So I didn't really sneak out. I just left. But I left my phone there because my dad has my location. So it's the 4th of July party. Everybody's fucking going. You know, some of my friends like that got caught weren't able to go, but then some of them went anyways, and some had to leave at like 11 p.m. But I was like, I'm gonna go. I'm home alone. Like I don't really care. I'll throw my own party. No, I didn't want to do that at all. But I was like, I'm gonna go. So I'm at this kid's house and it's a great party. His dad always buys like thousands and $1,000s worth of fireworks and like lights them off in their backyard because they have like a huge yard with like a bunch of land. So there was like fireworks, you know, we had food, we had drinks, we had everything. We were just having a great time. It was just like a really, really nice time. And my friend who owns that house or who lives at that house had my other friend. Okay, we're gonna give this kid an alias. We're gonna call him, I'm trying to think of somebody that like wasn't there. Like I'm trying to think of just like a random name. Jimmy. Okay, Jimmy. So Jimmy had been at the party 2 nights earlier, but he escaped. He ran away. Jimmy and his friends got out. Jimmy and his friends did get out. And we're at this party 2 days later, and the kid that like lives there, like I said, he goes, I have Jimmy's phone in my car still from 2 nights ago, and you should maybe go look at his recent calls. Fucking Jimmy, bro. Fucking Jimmy. It's so funny. Jimmy's such a funny name. I don't know why that's the thing that came to my head. So it's like me and 2 of my other friends. We are being told this information. He was like, go look. It's in my car. Like, go look at this kid's phone. And I was like, okay, like, bet. What do you mean? And we opened this kid's phone. It's like Jimmy's best friend and me and I think one of my girlfriends. I don't even fucking know. But we're here. Jimmy's best friend knows his password. So we get into his phone and we see 2 recent calls made to 911 and received from 911. So basically what happened is Jimmy, while at the party couple nights before, you know, the whole shit show, while Jimmy was at the party, he was probably a lot too messed up. He was too dizzy, a little too dizzy. And you know, if you like double click or like triple click your power button on your iPhone, it will send you into SOS mode and it will automatically call 911 for you. Like if there's an emergency, all you have to do is like press that button 3 times and the police will be called. So somehow Jimmy hits this button 3 times in a row. And Jimmy, you know, he's like, there's loud music playing, there's a lot going on while we're at the party, and Jimmy is, you know, calling 911, actively calling 911. And then he hears like somebody talking to him through the phone. So he picks up his phone and he hears, this is police department. Like, what are you calling for? And he thinks it's a fucking prank call. Now talking to him since, he thought it was a fucking prank call. So he starts talking shit. Like, oh yeah, like I'm sure it is. Like just talking shit to the fucking police operator person, 911 operator, and he's talking shit, which is so bad. And then he hangs up. And then 911 calls back, because you can't just hang up on a 911 call. And he keeps talking shit, and then he hangs up, and then he realizes what he had done, and he just like didn't decide to say anything. Like in that moment, he could have been like, guys, I accidentally just called the cops. Or he could have been like, okay, call back and be like, everything is good. Like, that's a total accident. I'm just with my friends. Like, there's music playing. But by that time, it was too late. And the cops have to follow up with a 911 call. And they're able to come in the house because it's a 911 call and there could be an actual emergency. So, yeah, that's what happened. That is how the night of July 2nd, 2020 went for me. I know that this story was a little all over the place, and I hope it makes sense. Like, I hope you guys were able to follow. I feel like those were like the specific details and like the specific things that happened. Looking back on it, I think obviously I wish it didn't happen. Like, it's shitty that it had to happen, but I'm grateful for that experience. Like, it did actually teach me how to be smart. Like, I have never gone to a party that's big like that again and taken my shoes off, taken my bag off, set my wallet down. I'm smart. Like, if I see a cop, if I hear cops, I'm out that bitch quicker than you can say anything. I don't know. So yeah, there's my little story of how I got an underage when I was 15 years old. Do not recommend. Do not do anything that was mentioned in this story. I don't want any of you guys to have to go through these things. Also, like, not even like getting caught. Like, it's also just kind of wrong. You know, it's kind of not great. But, you know, life is short. I was having fun. Sorry, I just like threw up in my fucking mouth. Yeah, I hope I told this like the right way. People are probably like, my friends are probably gonna listen to it. Why am I not speaking English? Some of my friends are probably gonna listen to this because like they're gonna want to like see how I told the story, and they're gonna be like, that is not how that shit happened. Hopefully it is though, because I had my brain, which is like a very little pea brain. Not pea brain. I'm smart, guys, but like I don't really have a memory. I have like the memory of a goldfish. So we have like that combined with my best friend Ryan. So I hope that we were able to get things right. I don't know. I feel like it's good. I need to run to Target right now and try to find a cute swimsuit for the 4th of July, because I just looked in my closet and I literally don't have any cute like blue or red swimsuits. I have one cute blue one that would work, but I kind of want to get like an actual like red, white, and blue one, because I haven't had like a actual red, white, and blue swimsuit since like 6th grade, probably 7th grade maybe, because I thought they were chuggy, and I still think they're chuggy, but I think it's funny. Like, I think it's funny to have like a flag on your swimsuit for the 4th of July. I don't know. I'm a fucking weirdo. I'm going up north with a whole bunch of my friends, and I'm so freaking excited. I absolutely love like the lake. That's my like biggest goal in life, is to have a cottage or a cabin or a log fucking shed or I just want to have property on a lake and have a boat and have jet skis and be able to like raise my kids there in the summer, because I didn't get that growing up, and that is like, it still hurts me. Like, seeing my friends that like grew up having like a lake house in the summer is so fucking sick. And my dad actually dated a woman like probably like 8 years ago. I don't even know how old I was. I was probably like 11, like 10, 11, 12, 13 maybe. I don't even know. They dated for like a while. But she had a lake house, and I was able to like get my little fix of like the lake. Like, I went up there like all summer with her family. So that was great that I had that experience. But yeah, one of my biggest goals is to have property on a lake when I'm older. So I love going up north, and it's so much fun, especially when you're with like a whole bunch of your friends. So that is my 4th of July plans. I'm going tomorrow on the 3rd, and then I'll be there the 4th, and then I leave the 5th. So it should be really fun, and I don't even know. I might tell how it went later. Okay. Y'all know how the end of these episodes go. My brain is mush. I've been talking for too long. I talk to myself, and I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. I just get progressively more annoying as the episode goes on. Every single episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I love you so freaking much, and I'm so happy that I was finally able to tell this story. I hope you enjoyed. Oh my Oh my Oh my God. I'm drinking an Alani Nu energy drink again. That's probably also why I'm freaking the fuck out. This is the kiwi guava one. Best flavor ever, Alani. I am your biggest fan. They send me so much shit. It is so fucking nice. I mean, brands do that with so many things, but like something about the Alani. Like I just love Alani and the brand and their social media person that like runs their Instagram account. They're so fucking nice. But yes. Okay, I'm closing this episode off right now. I hope you guys all had an amazing 4th of July. I don't know. 4th of July is like a holiday, but it's kind of like, it's more to just like have a good time. I don't know. Okay, I love you guys. Bye-bye.